Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back continuing our Top Stats series covering the top 25 strongest kingdoms / merge kingdoms in the game thus far. And that's only because we're not able to view individual leaderboards, which we'll get to here in a moment. We're just going to do a big unveiling, so we're not going to do it one by one. However, as always, before I do start, I need to preface with a few important pieces of information. One, this data was collected on August 13th. Across a 5 to 6 hour window. So essentially anything after that, of course, will be stronger. Number two, for those of you that are looking to find where you can access my top stats public sheet, this is my master. Essentially how I do this is I'll upload the data to the master where we do the video. And then within, if not up to 24 hours after the video is released, I will transfer that data over to the public version of the top stat sheet, which can be accessed essentially by anyone. You can find that by joining the Discord, and then you will populate here to the information. You'll just go to reaction roles. You will click on Call of Dragons, which is going to be this middle one. That will then open up our Call of Dragons section. You'll just go here to the leaderboards channel, and this is where you can view the top stats for the public doc. Also things like the Behemoth Elite Raids or Roots of War leaderboard that's constantly updated in real time, along with the Elite Raid times. Then we have our everything spreadsheet. I may add some other stuff here too as well, but that is how you go about it. Again, links for the Discord will be in the pinned comment description down below. Number three is that bear in mind the data. The reason I'd love to really do this more specifically and accurately with individual leaderboards is because then you can see what I feel is kind of more appropriate fluctuations on, instead of looking at it as, well, we're just going to look at it from a merge kingdom. I don't necessarily know offhand which alliances are in which home kingdom. And so for me, I like looking at it more from that rather than looking at all of the alliances on the board together from all of the merged kingdoms, with there not being a way to disseminate or differentiate, I should say, more specifically, or is probably a more appropriate one to say, or word to use, to where we can look at the individual alliances and players from those kingdoms, and that's something I really hope and wish that they do add. So it's not just the merge kingdom. I love the merge kingdom leaderboards, of course, but it'd be nice. Infinity Kingdom did this where they actually, and I think on a later update, where you could view your individual home kingdom leaderboards and your merged KVK or your KVK leaderboard. So I loved that they had two different boards you could look at, which for me, I really hope and wish they added. Number four is going to be that bear in mind, in a lot of, if not all the kingdoms we're going to show you, I believe are merged kingdoms here. So again, not that that's getting kind of big spoiler, I would imagine, but just to have some realistic expectations that these kingdoms can be at any point in time fighting from zone 1 to zone 2 to zone 3. So that's just something that kind of is what it is going to be. But I still wanted to show off kind of who the strongest kingdoms were regardless. So that way, you know, people could just know. Sometimes it's, I guess, just nice to know, if you will. With all of that being said, thank you for accommodating my multiple prefaces. Let's go ahead and do the reset here, or the unveiling, if I will. Okay, so here we go. I also thought to myself, hey, this might be good to add in the kingdoms that are actually in these groups or in these KVKs, Season 1 pluses, so that way it's a little bit easier to kind of figure out and just know who is where. But going top down, right, we have SSS 1-11. That's actually sitting at our number one position here at 27.7 billion power, right? You can also see the range here from 1 to 7. Remember that when we do kingdom power, we look at the top 7 alliances and we just kind of do a sum total, pretty simple. And then you can see what the range is. Range is defined by the power differential between 1 and 7. So here, 32, 34, 46, and 48 are comprised of SSS 1-11. They're totaling that power. We have SSS 1-10 coming in number 2, which is comprised of 31, 33, 39, and 40 at 24.56 billion. And we're just going to be generous and go down the list. Got to give everyone their flowers. But then we have SSS 1-8, which is comprised of 2, 6, 7, 8, 9 at 21.77 billion. Number 4, we have SSS 1-12. I'm going to have to get that down more appropriately. Maybe I'll just say the numbers going forward. 35, 36, 41, and 40 coming in at 20 bill. Then we have 13, which is 37, 38, 42, and 43 at 19.5 billion. We have 28, which is comprised of kingdoms 11 through 21 at 19.11 billion. Number 7 is Dash 14 at 45, 47, 49, and 50, coming in at 19 billion. Number 8, Dash 7, which is comprised of 1, 3, 4, 5, and 10 kingdoms, coming in at 17.79 billion. We have Dash 15, comprised 51 through 54, 17.6 billion. 21, comprised of 75 through 78 at 17.47 billion. Excuse me. Then we have Dash 17, 59 through 62, 17.38 billion. Dash 19, which is 67 through 70 at 17.06 billion. We're just not going to round up because a lot of extra work. No, I'm just joking, but keep it simple. 22, Dash 22, 79 through 82, 17 point... Did I just read this one? No. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, ooh, that was just awkward, the way that worked out. Dash 23, 83 through 86, 16.99 bill. Number 15, Dash 24, 87 through 90 at 16.92 billion. Number 16, we got Dash 18, 63 through 66 at 16.69 billion. Dash 26 at number 17, comprised of 95 through 98, 16.43 billion. Number 18, we have Dash 6, comprised of 22 through 26, 16.19 billion. Number 19, Dash 16, 55 through 58, 15.79 billion. We have number 20, also Dash 20, 71 through 74, 15.7 billion. Number 21, Dash 27, 99 through 102, 14.75 billion. We have number 22 now because that worked out interesting. Dash 25, 91 through 94, 14.16 billion. Number 23, Dash 29, 103 through 106, 13.94 billion. Number 24, Dash 31 is 111 through 114, 13.57 billion. And then number 25 is Dash 32, 115 through 118 kingdoms at 13.26 billion. So that rounds us out for our top 25. Now, to give you a picture of how this looked when we did the data collection about 2 months ago on this, you can see that at that time, and bear in mind, kingdoms are obviously getting stronger now as players are getting stronger and kind of working their way up. So you have 21 bill, which was the previous peak for Kingdom 32, previous bubble, but bear in mind these were home kingdoms, right? So it may be more appropriate to look at the bubble for the lowest merge kingdom we had at that time. So you're looking at essentially kind of 16.75 and then 9.08 billion, right? So if you're looking here, now you have about 4 or so billion more on the bubble. And then on the ceiling, you're looking at what was it, 8 or so? No, 16, 27. So you're looking at 11, almost 11 billion more that we're seeing right now. So just something to note, that when it comes to just the increased power, you can kind of see what the plus minus is going from the ceiling up and then from the bubble or the basement, if you will, up, or the floor up might actually be a better way to say that. But yeah, these are all merged kingdoms, so there's nothing really kind of out of the realm as far as any home kingdoms, because right now I think as of when we recorded this, the oldest home kingdom was 131, which is in that 131 to 144 group. They're going into that next KVK, and I believe pairings have already been announced, but they would be the next oldest Season 1 kingdom prior to going into S1 Plus. But even they weren't too close-ish. I mean, there was a little bit here and there, but with the 132 through with 131 through 134, but they were still a little ways away at the time. With that in mind, that's going to do it. As always, I hope you guys enjoy. I love going through, and I actually shockingly was able to pull this data a little bit quicker than what I did before, so I was actually really happy with that. Probably mainly just due to me not having to click on as many individual kingdoms because of them being merged. So there is that, I should say. But even though it did take me less time, I still would prefer viewing individual home kingdoms just because I like doing it that way. And I just think it's more accurate in my mind than going through the merged kingdoms themselves. So, and I also just think there's a lot of general benefits and pros to allowing home kingdoms to still view their individual stats and boards. Okay, that's going to do it for me as always. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Until next time, I will catch you later.